Welcome to SVG-TV News for Tuesday, July 4th, 2023. I am Rochelle Batiste with the details. St. Vincent and the Grenadines and other member states of the Caribbean Community, CARICOM, is today celebrating CARICOM Day. On July 4th, 1973, CARICOM was established to deepen regional integration. This year, the region is celebrating 50 years since the signing of the Treaty of Chaguaramas and the accomplishments of CARICOM, which is revered as the oldest surviving integration movement in the developing world. The milestone is being celebrated with several events under the slogan, 50 years strong, a solid foundation to build on. Here in SVG, at a flag-raising ceremony on Monday outside the administrative complex in capital Kingstown, Acting Prime Minister Montgomery Daniel says CARICOM memberships bring numerous economic benefits to St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
Through preferential trade arrangements, such as the CARICOM Single Market and Economy, CSME, we enjoy the free movement of goods, services, capital, and skilled labor across all member states. This facilitates trade, encourages investments, and creates opportunities for businesses and citizens. Moreover, CARICOM provides a platform for joint ventures, investment projects, and trade partnerships, enabling us to access larger markets and expand our economic horizons. These collaborations stimulate entrepreneurship, innovation, and economic collaborations, stimulates growth, contributing to the overall prosperity of our nation.
Minister Daniel says CARICOM also assists with regional security, which is a crucial aspect of its mandate, disaster management, and social and human development.
Small island states like St. Vincent and the Grenadines face unique security challenges, ranging from transnational crime to national disasters. CARICOM serves as a valuable platform for cooperation and joint action, allowing member states to address these common threats collectively. In times of crisis, such as hurricanes and volcanic eruptions, CARICOM regional mechanisms, including the CARICOM Disaster Emergency Management Agency, CDEMA, provide crucial support. This assistance helps us to mitigate the impacts of disasters, coordinate relief efforts, and foster a more resilient response to future challenges. In terms of social and human development, CARICOM places significant emphasis on social development initiatives, recognizing that human capital is the bedrock of sustainable progress.
Daniel further stated that through CARICOM, St. Vincent and the Grenadines also gain access to regional scholarships, technical assistance, and knowledge-sharing platforms, which help to contribute to the development of the country's education systems.
By collaborating with other member states, we can learn from their experiences, exchange best practices, and strengthen our social and human development strategies. This collaborative approach enhances the well-being of our citizens and ensure a brighter future for generations to come. It is important to note that through multilateral organizations such as CARICOM, it provides small island states like St. Vincent and the Grenadines with a unified voice on the international stage, particularly in the face of global challenges. We can leverage our collective strength to amplify our concerns and to advocate for common positions. This, I believe, is one of the strengths of CARICOM.
St. Vincent and the Grenadines and Grenada recently signed a memorandum of understanding expected to improve agricultural production. The signing took place between SVG's Minister of Agriculture, Suboto Caesar, and Grenada's Minister of Agriculture, Adrian Thomas.
Food must always be available, affordable, and accessible. We do not only want to move commodities across borders, but we also want to work with the technicians in country to ensure that the food import bill is reduced. So we'll be working with the government and Cuba of Grenada, Martinique and Caribou to ensure that we have the artificial insemination support which will be provided so that one day St. Vincent and the Grenadines and the Grenada, Martinique and Caribou can join together to export livestock to other countries. Just as we have seen already that we are now a partaker in the global market for the production and sale and export of cocoa, condiments and spices. So it is all about unity, it is all about working together and consolidating our efforts on the OECS platform. The stakeholders are critical, the young people are very important, the women in agriculture, the family farmers in agriculture. All of the stakeholders in the agri-food system will continue to play a role to ensure that we have unity.
And the government of St. Vincent and the Grenadines has been granted 21 scholarships by the Republic of Cuba. The scholarships for the 2023-2024 academic year are available for Vincentian students to pursue graduate and postgraduate studies at Cuban universities. The areas offered are as follows: 7 scholarships for medicine, 4 for postgraduate medical studies for graduates in Cuba, 1 for stomatology, 7 in nursing, 1 in engineering, and 1 in health technology. Interested persons are invited to contact the Public Service Commission for information on the application procedure. The Office of the Prime Minister says the Republic of Cuba continues to support St. Vincent and the Grenadines in its development agenda, and the gift of 21 scholarships is the latest example of Cuba's contribution to SVG's development in education. A series of murals under the theme Minus the Drunk plus the Local, Eat Healthy, Eat Fresh were unveiled today at the Arnoldsville Sporting Complex by an arts-based entity called Buox Arts. The 6 murals were designed by Shanique Stewart, a visual arts teacher at the Thomas Saunders Secondary School. The project was brought to life by Stewart along with students of the school and other artists. A specific area of the mural at the Sporting Complex has been dedicated to the sponsors of the project. Speaking at the launching ceremony today, Stewart said the project seeks to encourage Vincentians of all ages to eat healthy with an understanding that nutrition is just as important as exercise.
This project is about so we know that when we look at that wall, we can, say, all right, I know what this is about. Let's explain to the public and let them know why are these young people, they would say, beautifully messing up a wall. Okay? So when I started this project, I had a love-hate relationship with food, which I still do guilty. And I know that being healthy is not just about losing weight, it's also about what you eat. And because this is an area that has so many persons wanting to come and exercise and so forth, it is good to remind them that, hey, there's certain things that we need. And I thought about it, and I had, still my friend today. I asked for a team, and he came up with this theme, minus the junk, plus the local eat healthy, eat fresh, which is something a bit urban, something new, something fun, which the kids could gravitate to. And what it basically says is that you need to eat more locally grown foods, which is why we say eat healthy, eat fresh, because once we produce it, most likely we will not have all those harmful chemicals in it. And for those who are wondering about Subway, let's explain that. Now, for persons who have a busy schedule, you know how it is when you have to just grab and go. And sometimes we grab and go and we don't always make the best choices. Now, let's explain a balanced diet where you have your starches, you have your proteins, you have your vegetables, etc. And for persons who want to go and busy, like such, it's one of the things you could just grab and go and, you have something that is wholesome and that provides all of that for you.
Outlining some of the challenges faced executing the project, Stewart expressed gratitude to all of the sponsors.
Firstly, by giving God the praise and the honor. And I will go and say why, because sometimes we don't honor the one that created us and made the first provisions for us, put people in place to help us to achieve certain goals. There were so many obstacles in terms of getting this project done, whether it's the weather, whether it's finances, whether it's just being able to provide for the students so that they can come out. But today I'm so grateful for the persons who have pushed to help us do this project. I know that our visual arts is not yet where it needs to be, but with the continued support, especially from our major sponsor, Subway, we can certainly achieve that goal. And I was so happy that Subway decided to not just sponsor the paints, but also to make sure that the artists are fed, because it's not an easy thing being out there in the sun. Sometimes you go out there, and I'll be honest, sometimes I go out there, I have nothing, and then a friend that I haven't seen in months will just pass by and be like, you know what, I'm gonna give that drink. I'm gonna buy something. Sometimes the students come, I'm like, I don't have it, and they're just willing to push and give it. This is the kind of things that we go through, and I'm so grateful to those young children in the back. As I mentioned them, I have to give God thanks, because even meeting them was a blessing. Even meeting them was a blessing because I couldn't push it on my own. I have a young artist behind there who just, not only do I have the opportunity to work along with him, but we have some moments where we reason, we talk about things art related, etc.
The Murals launched today at the second set launch for the year. The group Buick's Arts by Shanique Stewart is hoping to place at least 50 murals across St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Several residents living at the upper part of Ashburton in the Belay area have been affected by a massive landslide which occurred yesterday due to the ongoing rainfall across the country. SVG-TV news team visited the area today and spoke with some of the residents on what transpired yesterday. The residents also used the opportunity to appeal for help to deal with the heavy water runoff in the area when it rains.
We see the rumbling and the tumbling, and if I see mud start to fling down there. Yeah, I see my little cousin in there, and he run. He say, Pecky, what dot? Your car wash away. So I say, boy, as we go people, we couldn't even go up there. The amount of dot come down here, trust me. Yeah, we have to walk go dot last night, same way. But yeah, that was it. We checked off to come and do some work here, same way. Yeah, but nobody ain't getting no injury or nothing, just a car. There's some mud upon it. Yeah. Soldier that up the car. And he run for he for talk to. Nah. The bank they always washing with this one. And time heavy rain come down, they come down.
Yes, this is the third time now this place is coming down and rapidly. Yeah, this is really something I want to do to this place, because every time the rain comes, the bank always break down. But they said from the fridge and the water at the top coming down, that does cause erosion. But it's really affect us. By walking, we can't get to our home and we have to go to people's yard to get to our home. This morning I got on the road, I couldn't even pass. I went to the shop and the place so messy and I couldn't even go to the shop. I have to turn back because the road was really bad. Well, yesterday they said a truck had been come, but they didn't brought no truck with them, so they have to leave. So today I don't see nobody come up to now to do nothing.
Okay, thank you.
One big bluff thing did it. So, me I say much the lady bank they break down. And then I see Sharon and come down and say, oh God, look, Pecky, can't wash out. Me come up, look, realize up there, and they come from, go straight down the road. So we don't really see how it take place there, madam. Well, no one again, sometimes depends on how the rain come. Because the last time, when the big chop, they been break down, how the bank will be same time like how the rain come yesterday. Close to this spot up there. Well, I can't tell you much about that. Serious. Yeah, if I tell you, I say so, I'm going to tell you, I don't know if they got anything put in place. I see some of the tree where they cutting down, causing a whole load of things. Because when the roots are rotten, better than chum off the tree on them. And let the chunk of the tree stand up, but when the water come now, he ain't going to get full. Take up the land so much and soak the land. But when all the whole root they done rotten now, madam, and rain come, the whole thing turn loose.
And the police have launched investigations into the circumstances surrounding the deaths of 3 men, 2 of whom were killed yesterday, Monday, July 3rd, 2023. Darius Williams, a 23-year-old omnibus conductor of Glen, died after an incident at the Peace Memorial Hall bus stop in capital Kingston, and Michael Miller, a 46-year-old of Stubbs, died after a shooting incident in Georgetown. The police say, according to preliminary investigations, Williams was working as a conductor on an omnibus that stopped at the Peace Memorial Hall bus stop around 5:50 p.m. yesterday when he was attacked by an assailant and stabbed with a knife. He was transported to the Milton Cater Memorial Hospital for medical attention, where he succumbed to his injuries. Meanwhile, Miller succumbed to his injuries after he was shot by an unknown assailant several times about his body in Georgetown. An investigation has also been launched into a shooting incident that left Floyd McDowell, a 28-year-old farmer of Georgetown, hospitalized with a gunshot wound to his right thigh. The police say McDowell was rushed to the Modern Medical Complex in Georgetown and later transferred to the Milton Cater Memorial Hospital, where he is reported to be in stable condition. The circumstances that resulted in the death of Osborne Jerry Hayward, a 42-year-old laborer of Greg's, are also under investigation. Preliminary information reveal that about 10:10 p.m. on Saturday, the police at the Bible Police Station received a report from a caller by telephone stating that gunshots were being fired in the vicinity of the Greg's Hard Court and an unknown man was on the ground. Acting on information received, Divisional Commander and Superintendent of Police Trevor Bailey headed a party of police officers to Greg's to visit the scene and conduct investigations. On arrival, the deceased was met lying motionless on the ground with what appeared to be an injury to the left side of his face. He was later identified as Osborne Jerry Hayward. The district medical officer also visited the scene and pronounced the victim dead. Anyone with information that can assist the police with these investigations is encouraged to call the police, who say all information received would be treated confidentially. Welcome to Carnival Beat this evening. With the 2023 Carnival season in full effect, the RSVG Police Force is encouraging residents and visitors to be vigilant and cautious as they go about their business and to look out for scammers on social media. The advice comes from Police Constable Shannon Joseph, who is attached to the Anti-Trafficking in Persons Unit of the RSVG Police Force at the annual Carnival exhibition of the Police Crime Prevention held last Friday, June 30th, to sensitize the general public on safety measures to follow during the festive season.
Things that you have to be aware of with human trafficking is that when there's advertisements, make sure you do your research properly. Don't just run into things, because out there right now on the internet there are a lot of predators and stuff out there who are tricking people to get them into human trafficking. Of human trafficking, there's domestic servitude where people are forced into to do household chores and labor and stuff like that. There's drug trafficking where you're forced to transport drugs. There's labor exploitation where people are taken to factories and stuff like that to work for no money at all and stuff like that.
On human trafficking, Constable Joseph said it is a serious issue and they will continue to spread awareness among members of the public during and after the carnival season.
It's not something people know a lot about because it's under the radar, but it's very, very dangerous. It's second to drug trafficking. Annually, they make over $100 billion in human trafficking. We don't have a problem here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines with human trafficking, but we are doing the best that we can to sensitize the public against human trafficking.
And Marketing and Development Officer of the Carnival Development Corporation, the CDC, Ellsworth Roberts, and SVG Consular General to the United States, Rodney McIntosh, were on NBC Radio today discussing the carnival season, including the withdrawal of a number of soca artists from the national soca and raga soca monarch competitions this year.
The petition came about as a result of artists making some demands that soca monarch prize money should be raised from the 25,000 first prize to 40,000 and so forth. Not just a raise from 25 to 40, that's $15,000, but you also have to raise the other second, third, fourth, etc. You also had there was also a clause that stated that the appearance fee should be raised to $5,000, which is over 100% increase and so forth and so on.
And also they wanted a cut.
And also a share.
Share in the royalties.
Share of the share in the royalties of the streaming, and also a percentage of the show. I could tell you that the CDC is not in any way being disrespectful to soca artists and so forth. I mean, the CDC acknowledge, yes, there is a need for a price increase. Nobody is saying that, okay, the money you're getting now is just and we have no intention of increasing it. Just that at this time, CDC is not in a position to make that type of increase. Now, like I mentioned, the increase is some simple and small, but it is in fact in totality, in aggregate, it's a lot.
Quite a lot.
Yeah?
On the launch of Vinci Mass this year, which saw a sparse representation by patrons, Robert said this could have been attributed to a number of factors.
We did discuss it after the launch, and there are a number of things that came up in the discussion.
So we want to hear what was said inside.
Some of it wasn't just persons giving their opinion. It was about feedback from the public, because persons were outside asking what they thought, and we had multiple factors being mentioned. One person felt like we should have done the parade like we would have done in the past, where we started at the cruise ship terminal, did a parade similar to what I just mentioned that we did from Heritage Square for the hub. Persons felt that would have brought more persons out and so on and bring them to the park. The trucks that we use on the road, because while we do the parade from cruise ship terminal and go down to the park, we usually have the whistle stops from Windward and Leeward. And those normally come in a little later. This year they came in a bit earlier than usual, so they didn't have that following behind them. Some person's response was that the admission was too much. They felt the $20 was too high and so forth. So they had a number of different factors affected that. And also some persons felt the climate between the components and the CDC, there seem to have been some issues where some components not participating or stating their willingness to stay out of certain things and so on.
The Hennessy Starlift Steel Orchestra is still on a high after winning the Junior Panorama competition last Sunday. Musical director of the orchestra, Kingsley Hero Roberts, said that he is pleased with the band's performance at Junior Panorama 2023, praising the effort of band arranger Mitchell Israel Duharty, who led the band for the first time and captured the title of Junior Panside 2023.
Feeling happy. I'm overjoyed, especially with the youth, I just give way for one of our young, talented, upcoming arranger, and he did, and this is his first attempt and do so well, you know. Excellent job.
Okay.
You know, all kudos goes to him and the players, you know. Very good, very good. I'm proud of all of them. I was happy to hand over the baton to somebody, you know, who's very talented, who's very willing, you know, very passionate about it. You know, so I'm happy, you know. I'm extremely happy.
Robert said they face several challenges preparing for the competition this year and that they are now looking forward to still and greater competition on Thursday, July 6th.
You know, quite naturally, where our carnival is with regards to the date, you know, and where exam is. So that within itself is a big challenge because, you know, you have to take breaks, you know, but at the same time, the children and the parents, you know, are willing to take that risk and balance it, you know. At times when they needed to take breaks, you know, to study their school out there, you know, we did that. We gave way for that, you know, which we have to because we are pretty much concerned about every child education. You know, so it was very, very challenging. I think that's the most challenging part. Other than that, you know, we had hiccups here and there, but the end product, you know, we were satisfied and victorious.
A family trio has created history in the local Calypso Arena this year after securing a spot in the finals of the national competition to be held this Sunday night inside Carnival City, Victoria Park. Father Gosnell Cupid, or JC, his daughter Chanel Mackenzie, and son Omani Cupid will come up against each other and 9 other Calypsonians in the competition, which from all indication will be keenly contested. In a telephone interview with SVG-TV News, Chanel Mackenzie says patrons can expect a phenomenal performance from herself, her father, and younger brother.
I don't look at them as the normal competitors, their family, and you know we have to support each other nonetheless. So, but they're gonna bring their A game, and so am I. So there's nothing. It's an extraordinary situation. It's historical, I'm sure. You know, but everybody's just going to come and do their best. On the night, we are competitors. Leading up, we are a family, we're working, we're helping each other, but on the night, we're competitors. I'm just going to go and do my best. As usual, that's the most that I can actually do. You know, I always try to bring my A game, and this year is not going to be any exception, so, yeah.
Highlighting the message behind her song, Who to Blame, Mackenzie, who has been singing for 30 years now, expressed the challenges faced preparing for the 2023 Calypso season.
So the message in my song is that the name of the song is Who to Blame. Now, when I look around, because a lot of the songs that I do are things that I observe, things I'd like to sing about, yeah? Perhaps something that's happened to me personally, yeah? Not this one, but in others. Now, the idea behind this song is that we see men drinking a lot of alcohol, but we don't ask why. How did they get there? We see women doing whatever. They end up in certain situations, we don't ask why. You know, we see young people on the block, smoke, drink, gangs, but we don't ask how did that individual get there. So that is the basis of my calypso. Something must have led persons to get to the vices in society. And that is what this calypso is all about. I always encounter challenges, but the biggest challenge I've had this year is the negativity, especially on social media. Like I saw one person made a comment saying that I need to retire. You know, I know, but let me tell you something. I use it as motivation. That's what they don't realize. I think if people are doing it to get to me mentally, it doesn't work. It's motivation, you know, but the negativity on social media, it is disheartening, to say the least, but it's life.